Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Factorio. This is it, the final episode of Recursion. Episode number 21 is where we're going to put this series and this map to bed and move on to new things. But first, we want to send it off with a bang. I've added more train stations to our network, and we are going to turn the science back on and give it a whirl. I've also given a facelift to the interior of the base. But first things first, I think we're going to try to see if we can do at least a little bit of something about the lag. There are some console commands we're going to try out, and if we go into the debug settings and we show active chunks, that's what I'm looking for, you can see there is a ring around our base. A lot of it out in the darkness. If we turn on the pollution, we can see a correlation. Those are aliens in active chunks. We're going to turn off the pollution and the aliens. We'll put it in here. That's it. You can find it on the Factorio wiki if you're looking for it. Okay. I have to do it a second time, right? Because that's the first time... That's the first time I've used a command on this map. Okay. So that should have gone through. Now if I turn this on... Nothing. Ooh. Hey-oh. And we need to... Oh my god. Really? Oh. 20... I haven't turned off the aliens yet. Okay, I didn't expect that to happen. Turns out we got like 8 frames from that. And I haven't even restarted the game. I forgot to mention that. After we're done with this, we're going to restart the game. So we need 2 commands to kill the aliens. Well, 1 to kill the aliens. And a second one to prevent them from ever spawning again. Here's the first one, which will kill all aliens. This might lag the game for a minute. Yep. Okay, they should all be gone. Now we've got one to prevent them from spawning in new chunks, which shouldn't be an issue. But just in case, let's be thorough. Bam. Okay. So, if we go back out to here and we scroll down to the active chunks. Almost dead silence. There will be some residual active chunks from because they were already previously active. But already, I think we notice a difference with the pollution off. I can't believe that actually had more than 2 frames worth of benefit. We will need to restart the game, but another thing I'm going to be able to do is we can come out here and we can clean up these walls. For instance, it's just more entities. I've got a radar out here. I've got roboports, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't add a ton, but if we can clean up a little bit, that'd be nice. Ooh, that's so nice. I can't believe we got back up to 25. Okay, so let's do some research. We're going to start, instead of doing mining productivity, we're on 225. Let's do worker robot speed 14, 256,000 research. And let's turn on some trains. I added more train stops to our system. I added 1 for each branch of our iron train system. There's an iron outpost way down here. If we zoom in, and I'll just tell him to go. You need to go to the outpost. Pick up ore. I got 4 trains per. And then I'll go show you the makeover I gave to the interior of the base, which I think looks pretty nice. Okay, so there's that one. He's kind of stretching all the way around because I had to go where the iron was. Here's one way stretched over here as well. The trains are right here. And then I'll show you also just how many trains are on the system. There are a pretty good amount, and I have a feeling before the episode is over, we're going to be adding a lot more. Probably we'll need a few more copper outposts. 1 or 2, possibly oil outposts. And probably at least 3 more iron outposts. Okay, so that was those 2. Where was the other one? Let's see, that was stretching that way. Then we had... Oh, yeah, I went way up here. All right, here we go. All right, go to outpost. I think we're up to, what, 16 or 17 iron outposts. But we have actually finished one off, which can be deleted. Let me turn off the power lines. So this guy right here, Iron Outpost 4, is officially empty. And we can clear him out. You can see how many trains are just, like, kind of backed up in the network. Let's go inside. I've given it a facelift. We've got lakes. We've got concrete. We've got colored pathways. Oh, it looks nice. We've even got colored lights, which are the same color as the colored pathways, and the colors shift as we go deeper into the base. Isn't that cool? Doesn't it look nice? I think it looks fairly nice. It gives a nice, it's the natural landscape of the logistics robot version 4 Fusion Edition. We go in here. We've got another layer. We go in here. We've got a very short path. I even moved this guy backwards so the path would be just slightly longer because he was right up against the entrance. Then we've got a dividing path here. This is the last one I've done so far. I'll probably do a few more eventually. But this guy dead ends into the research fella. And then the mall there, the two major areas that we end up... Well, actually, I don't ever go in here. But we might in the future, because here, I'm probably going to move the museum in here, and we've got our very old flowchart, which we made a long time ago to illustrate the amount of things flying around and how they'd be compressed. All right, that's done. Now, as the science spools up and we see just how well I'm moving faster, I notice, because actually going from 15 frames to 24, or 25, which we seem to be at now, that science is going to probably drop a few more. That makes a big difference. That's like a speed increase of what, like 66% if you go from 15 to 25? Everything is moving faster. The robots are moving faster. The trains are going to start emptying as all those filler chests fill or unfill. I'm going to go delete these things. And back from the cleanup, here's our new map, a little bit more restrained. We don't have these little spindly guys going out towards the edges. And the research has been going for a while. We're back down to 15 frames per second, but it's better than 10 frames per second, that's for sure. We've got a lot of iron trains backed up, but looks like our copper trains can no longer keep up now that our iron trains are faster. I think we need to go add some more copper outposts. What a surprise. Okay, little update clip. There's been a number of small optimizations inside the base since that last segment I recorded, but outside the base, something significant has happened and been redesigned, and it doesn't involve just more and more outposts. I have rebuilt and redesigned the train decoupler here, where are 3 different iron systems. We've got 3 concentric loops. They come down here, they turn around, and they come back out. They've got to decouple somewhere because they're 3 separate systems. I've rebuilt this. There was an iron outpost here, which I just showed you a little bit earlier in the video. That's been deconstructed because it's empty. We used all the iron there. And when I built this guy here, this is iron outpost number 3 now. It was a little bit awkward because it was just too close to our decoupler. I redesigned the whole thing. Previously, there was some really squiggly line looking railroads here, where we didn't have enough space for all the different signals we need. Now you can see we've got individual signals in between all of these. The outer loop, which is the most important loop because it's the one closest to the base, it gets used the most by the robots. That one decouples first off to the left. We've got space for signals in between each of these, so all these little blocks are separate. Previously, some of it was too close, we didn't have room for them. Now we do. Then I've allowed enough space for an entire train length here so that trains don't get stuck in the intersection blocking other trains. And then once we get out here, the 2 remaining systems decouple as well like that. And we do end up with this little like hiccup here, which is fine. This outpost here, which only has 2 trains and is starting to run low, I rerouted him so that he enters the system up here, and there's enough room for a full train length here as well. So this system is now working way better. That's actually a big improvement. Inside the base, inside our nuclear facility, we have a new building. We have started producing, finally, nuclear fuel. Maybe I should have done this earlier, but we're doing it now. Nuclear fuel, 1.21 gigawatts. What an odd number for them to pick for the fuel value. It's made from rocket fuel and uranium-235. Takes 60 seconds, fairly slow. But every single one of these guys is worth like 5 times as much as a rocket fuel. And it allows for faster acceleration, which is the main thing I want. 180% vehicle acceleration versus 250% vehicle acceleration, which hopefully will help them move in and out of our system. Here's our total power drainage, by the way. 20 4 gigawatts. Our max is like 27 at the moment, so I think we're going to be okay with everything running pretty much full speed. For some time now, we haven't gone above that. I don't know if we're ever going to actually use that nuclear fuel, though, because the trains... Okay, so they've made it through a third of their remaining rocket fuel. One thing you cannot do, the first thing I tried to do was to get a filter inserter and take the rocket fuel out. So I could try to get it out of all the different trains. I've got a lot of trains in the system. Here's how many trains we have. Every single one of those has 4 to 6 locomotives, and every single one of those has 1 to 3 stacks of rocket fuel. I'm not doing that by hand. I tried to automate it. It's not going to happen, so we have to sit around basically and wait for them to use up their remaining rocket fuel. They're a third of the way there. It's going to take forever. It's probably not going to happen, but I did finally start crafting it. And whammo blammo, another update. Look at the progress. I completely, and I mean completely, overhauled the visual look of the exterior of the base to bring it into line with the look of the interior of the base, this new style. We've got the colored pathways and a lot of bricks in the background and these little fun lakes. I did the same thing out here. There's been a lot of visual styles for this base over the years. Has it been? Oh, wow, it has been over a year, I guess, because it was 2 full series, and I did C-Block in between. We did have, at one point, we had a lot of note block stuff with the gates getting triggered by the trains running over them and the lights flashing and the rainbow bridges and all that kind of stuff. I would love to bring that back, but I'm worried it will just impact the performance too much. We are at 17 to 18 frames per second, and I think that's pretty good right now. We've launched 3,500 rockets. We're working on Worker Robot Speed 6. These robots are going crazy. Every time I fix one tiny little bottleneck, I realize there's another new bottleneck. And the most recent one was actually stone, which I've apparently fixed now, because this chest is totally full. Stone was the problem because we weren't making our bricks fast enough, which was slowing down furnaces, which was slowing down the purple science as other things sped up. And now you can see actually all my stone trains are gone. And whammo blammo, just like that, another stone outpost. Actually, maybe I didn't need to do that. I did redistribute the trains so they're going more evenly to each different stone outpost, but while I was away, they sort of caught up, so maybe we just had to wait for all these different chests to fill up. But we fixed the problem. Now we'll go back to the base. We'll see what the next set of problems is. Okay, anyway, I could keep making small little modifications to this base probably forever and continue to improve it little bit by little bit. Let's do one last final walkthrough of the base in a box Recursion, which became Recursion. At the end, we've got 3 coal outposts, 12 copper outposts, we got 18 iron outposts, 4 oil outposts, 4 stone outposts, 2 uranium, 2 water. We got Praise the Sun up above, our backup nuclear power, and then we have all the drop-off stuff on the island. Oh my gosh, look at the robots go. We're about halfway through Worker Robot Speed 16, which takes 1,000,000 science of everything. We've shot off 3,700 rockets. Here's the island. It's awesome. I love seeing it, full of trains coming in and out, and everything working pretty much at full speed. Here's the overall view of all of the network of outposts. From all the way out, there's the power system. No more pollution, hooray! No more aliens. We've got outposts all over the place. We've got trains coming and going. Final tally of the trains. Blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna count them. There's a lot. Okay, those are all the trains. Let's go inside. Let's go inside to the base. Okay, so coming inside, we've got oil and we've got our uranium up top. Let's go take a look at what our final power draw is. Final power consumption, 24 gigawatts. Our trains still haven't spent all of their remaining rocket fuel, so they're not actually using the nuclear fuel yet. This guy is running 210 nuclear reactors, this building right here. Kovarex really does do a lot. I've reconfigured this building a few times, and now it never gets jams. It never gets jammed up. It used to jam up the original configuration, but I made it better. We fixed it. It's now flawless and totally automated. I never have to come back in here, except to check just to make sure that We haven't run out of ore or anything. But so far, we haven't exceeded capacity. Every single one of these buildings supplies a little bit less than 2 gigawatts. Ideally, they would supply a little bit over 2 gigawatts. But practice is not always as... we don't always get as much as we theoretically think. We are going to get... Here's our light, oil, and lubricant stuff. Cracking heavy into light. All of our oil refining are in these guys. We've got 12 different refining buildings. All of our smelting is in this building. Look at that go crazy. I guess we can go take a look at this very briefly. We'll do our patented squeak under. Bam. Okay, good. Yes, get inside. And it'll take, they'll occasionally pull from these ones. Yeah, there we go. Here's our final production. We finally got up to, almost anyway, 400,000 iron ore per minute being consumed. We're consuming 650,000 copper cables. All told, we've consumed over 1 billion copper cable. I'm assuming G is 1 billion because M is 1 million. And those are about, this is about double that. And this is, well, anyway, that's a lot of robots flying around. We are smelting all kinds of stuff. Let's do our patented squeak under technology. All right. Plop that back. Let's head into the next level. Deeper and deeper we go. So, copper smelting is kind of similar. I actually had, if you can look at the green circuits there, I had to buff it up just a little bit to get us up to where we need to be. So now we are making 227,000 green circuits per minute. All the copper is getting added in there. Iron gets teleported in there. Stuff gets added into this guy. Let's go one level deeper. In here, we have a lot of the more complicated stuff. We got the rocket fuel, the low-density structures, the plastic, the green, or the red circuits, blue circuits and speed modules, and rocket control units, yellow science. Actually, the sulfuric acid periodically breaks for whatever reason. Like, one of the inserters just stops working. I have to just flat out go replace it. I don't know why. Some kind of bug having to do with unbarreling, and I'm not sure exactly why. Occasionally, this will drop from 100,000 to about 80,000. I've only got 5 machines making sulfuric acid because it's such a fast thing. We only need the 5 machines. Occasionally, it breaks, so I just try to keep an eye on that figure. And batteries is in there as well. We'll go one floor deeper. In here, we got all this kind of like byproducts that are needed for science. I've added extra stone bricks being produced right there. We weren't making quite enough, so I just increased it by a little bit just to get us up to snuff. In here, we've got a few science guys. We've got the engines. We've got the electric engines. I did have to reconfigure a little bit because we were producing just not quite enough. So I added a few more machines making the mining drills, and I just reconfigured the belts a little bit so that we were being able to take as many out of there as we were making. So there is that little addition. Deeper and deeper we go. Actually, we've got to go up one level and then down one level. Did I add anything? No, we didn't add any more iron furnace creation, but I did add the brick creation, which I already showed. And then here we've got purple is where all of those furnaces are going. You can see from here, stuff's getting added in. This is our rocket production area, and looks like, what are we waiting on? Or is something backed up? Anyway, the average we've been averaging is 5,000 science per minute. We got blue, purple, yellow, whatever. 5,000 per minute getting produced. For whatever reason, we're not creating space. What's going on with our rocket silos? Okay. We are missing, blue circuits. You know why? Because I just, something happened. I had to add a few more robots to a few layers, and a lot of our blue circuits, I think, are getting shunted off into production of more robots and more speed modules. I also took a bunch of speed modules. We are creating 8.4 thousand, though. That's basically as much as we can make. They're just getting, some of them are getting sent into here to replace our speed modules, and actually, I can put these back. Let me just snag some just in case. So that kind of will shut down now, and these guys need to catch up because I did use quite a few of these. 1,000. We can change this to a lower number. We don't need that many because the base basically is at full capacity. There's 500. Okay, this is more like it. The base caught up with the production of speed modules and the robots that I took out of it to speed up little bits here and there and to add extra outposts. Now we got the rockets going again. Everything is going to even out. But I think that makes this the end of the video and also the end of the entire series. I've spent hundreds of hours on this map, but it's time to move on. And I hope you enjoyed the series. And I will see you in a future video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.